Hi, myself Manu Singhal and I am medical student in Jonetta Foundation School of Medicine. Today I am here to perform Leopold maneuver. So basically Leopold maneuver is four types: LM1, LM2, LM3 and LM4. So before starting this maneuver, we ask the patient to empty their bladder so that we can perform our maneuver and investigate correctly. To first start with measuring the fundus height. In this, we have to put one end of tape to the symphysis pubis and other end up to the fundus, which will this measurement gives approx idea of fetal age. So moving forward, firstly uncover the patient and then face toward the patient face and grasp the uterine fundus and identify which fetal pole is present here. If it is held, then it is firm, hard, bloatable and movable. If the buttock is there, then it is soft and bulky. So for Leopold maneuver 1, we have to report that LM1 is cephalic or LM1 is breech. For Leopold maneuver 2, still face the patient and grasp the abdomen size and determine which side is this. Is this just back or the small parts? So after determining where the fetal back is there, we can hear the sound of fetal heart by stethoscope or Doppler. And after that, we can report that LM2 as LM2 fetal back right or fetal back left. So for Leopold maneuver 3, still face the patient head and with one hand, with the help of fingers and thumb, grasp the lower portion of maternal abdomen just above the symphysis pubis and determine fetal engagement part is there or not. If it is soft and bulkier, then it is breech. So we report the LM3 as cephalic or breech if soft part is present. So moving toward the Leopold maneuver 4, in this we have to face toward the patient feet and grasp the one hand just above the symphysis pubis and determine which side is cephalic prominence or which is not. So after determining correctly the cephalic prominence, grasp the other hand on the either side of abdomen and identify if the cephalic prominence and small parts are in same position, then it is called cephalic prominence flash. If it's opposite in direction, then it is called as cephalic prominence extended. So after this maneuver, ask the patient if there is any questions or not, and tells also the findings of this maneuver. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Manu Singhal and I am medical student in Jonetta Foundation School of Medicine. Today I am here to perform an OSCE over the breast examination. So in this examination, firstly take the consent from the patient and then there is two steps. First is inspection and then second is palpation. So after taking the consent from the patient, we have asked the patient to sit comfortably on the examination table or the chair. Then we have to inspect the patient for any asymmetry, for any color changes like dimpling or puckering, for any obvious masses like scars, or any nipple changes like retraction or discharge. Now moving forward, we ask the patient to place their both hand and tilt or lean forward. Then we inspect the patient for there any asymmetry, masses or any color changes. Then we ask the patient to place both their hand behind their head and repeat the inspection process for any asymmetry, obvious masses or nipple discharge. After that, we ask the patient to continue placing their hand behind the head and lean forward, and repeat the same process of inspection by observing any asymmetry, any obvious masses, color changes like dimpling or puckering, and for any nipple discharge. Now moving toward the second step, which is palpation. For this, I ask my patient to lie down over the examination table and wear my gloves, which I already wear. Now start my examination by squeezing the nipple of my patient and then check for any discharge, and also note down the consistency, color and odor if any discharge. moving toward my next examination, which is examination of breast tissue. For this examination, I use my 3-finger pad for palpation, and for this OSCE purpose, I use the spiral method. In the spiral method, I start palpating at the nipple and moving outward in a concentric circular motion. And I also ensure that I use enough pressure so that I can palpate up to at the level of chest wall, which is superficial, medial and deep. Now moving forward toward my next examination, which is examination of axilla. In this examination, I use my hand freely to palpate and examine the axilla for medial, lateral, anterior, posterior and apex of axilla. Moving toward my next examination, which is general lymph node examination. For this examination, I palpate the general lymph node, which is cervical, supraclavicular, infraclavicular and parasternal. After all the examination, I tell the findings to my patient.